Hello, students. Today we are going to learn the poem The Voice of the Rain, written by Whitman. Dear students, the poet Walter Walt Whitman was an American poet, essayist, and journalist. As a humanist, he was a part of the transition between the transcendentalism and realism, incorporating both views in his work. Whitman is among the most influential poets in the American canon, often called as the father of free verse. He is known for his innovation in verse form, that is, he uses free verse in long rhythmical lines. So today we are going to learn the poem that is The Voice of the Rain. The poem is a dialogue between the poet and the rain, where, calling itself the poem of earth, it explains its life cycle. Rising from the sea and the land in vapor's form, the raindrops fall back, giving the world relief from drought and settling dust all over. It stimulates the dormant seeds to life, and by soaking the earth once again, it heads for a fresh life cycle. And thus, a parallel is also drawn between music and the rain in the concluding line of the poem. Thus, this poem, celebrating the coming of rain, is a nature poem. So, fascinated by the spontaneity and soothing effects of the rain, the poet asks it for an introduction, and to his great surprise, the rain did introduce itself and called itself the poem of the earth. So, let us read the poem and understand it. And who art thou? Said I to the soft falling shower, which, strange to tell, gave me an answer as here translated. So the poet, he was fascinated on seeing the soft falling showers of rain. And on being fascinated, he questions the rain. He asked the soft falling showers, who are you? Who art thou? Art. Art is R, A R E R. Thou means you. It is an old form of asking, who are you? So the poet asked the rain, who are you? To which the rain replied in a strange manner. And the rain said that it was the poem of the earth. So, which strange to tell, gave me an answer as here translated. I am the poem of earth, said the voice of the rain. Eternal, I rise impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea. Eternal. Eternal means never ending. Impalpable, which cannot be touched or described or seen. So here, the rain said that it was the poem of earth and it rose continuously from the land and the bottomless ocean in the forms of vapors. Now, bottomless, it doesn't means that the ocean is bottomless. It actually that from the depth of the ocean and from the land, it rises in the form of vapors, water vapors. Then the rain said, upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed, altogether changed and yet the same. Now, here, dear students, the poet he has actually used the poetic device personification. He has personified the rain, and thus the rain is now talking about itself. Personification is a poetic device where human traits are provided to an inanimate object. So, thus, here the rain is talking to the poet, where the rain tells that it is the poem of the earth and it rises continuously from the land and the bottomless ocean in the form of vapors, and it rises towards heaven, towards the sky. Whence means from where? Vaguely formed. Vaguely means which is not clear and altogether changed, yet the same. So, the rain here tells the poet that it rises upwards towards the sky in the form of vapor where it changes its form. as if we talk about the cycle of the rain, how the water vapor, it rises into the sky, and then uh, it forms takes the form of a cloud, and then condenses, and the precipitation occurs, and it then comes down towards the earth in the form of rain. So it changes its form. It also says that although its form gets changed, it still remains the same. And yet the same means the essence remains the same, the core remains the same. And what is the core here? It is the water. So from water it rises in the form of water vapor, then it takes the shape of the cloud, and then it comes down towards the earth in the form of rain. I descend to lave the draughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe, and all that in them without me were seeds only, latent, unborn. And forever, by day and night, I give back life to my own origin and make pure and beautify it. So the rain, it tells the poet that how it comes down to wash the drought and provide water. It quenches the thirst of the drought hit areas. It also washes away the dust and the small particles from the earth's surface. And the seeds inside the earth, they grow into a plant because of water vapor provided by the rain, and thus it gives life to the seeds. The seeds which were still unborn, they were hidden, they were buried under the soil. Once the rain touches the surface of the earth, the seed starts to germinate. And thus the dormant seeds, the rain, it actually helps the dormant seeds in germination. So by drenching the earth, it prepares ground for another cycle of life for itself. And the rain says that forever, by day and night, I give back life to my own origin and make pure and beautify it. Means the rain says that by day and night it provides life, care, enrichment, and water to the place from where it originated. The rain keeps enhancing the beauty and purity of the earth by preparing a life cycle for itself again. So, thus, we see that how the rain, the life cycle of rain is continuous. It is eternal, it is never ending, and this process is continuous. The rain rises from the land and the bottomless sea, then reaches upwards into the sky, and then condenses and precipitates in the form of rain. And during this process, it provides life on the earth. It rejuvenates everything on the earth. It brings and thus enhances the beauty and purity over and over again. Now, see, here the dialogue of the rain is over now. And the last two lines, as you can see, it is put into bracket, which says, for song issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering, wrecked or unwrecked, duly with love returns. Here, the rain is like a song that originates from its birthplace and just like the heart of the singer and travels to fulfill the earth's need and wanders. It finally comes back to the place from where it originated, where it is ruined or not, where it is heard or not unheard, where it is noticed or unnoticed, but still it returns to the original position with a lot of love to its birthplace. So, towards the end of the poem, a parallel is drawn between the rain and music. So, just as rain originates from the womb of the earth, music also emanates from the heart of the singer. Rain falling all over drenches everything, preparing to start another cycle. Music also reverberates all over, irrespective whether someone listens to it or not. It echoes in the heart of the singer, exuding a sense of joy and satisfaction. So, quite akin to each other, the rain and the music make the world more livable. So, just like music, it soothes the souls of the listeners. Similarly, rain, it soothes the soul of the earth. And thus, they come back to their origin, whether wrecked or unwrecked, which means whether heard or unheard, whether noticed or unnoticed, they come to their origin with love. And this is where the poem ends. So thus we see how beautifully the poet, he actually brings out the importance of rain in our life. And thus the poem, it highlights the life cycle of rain and the importance of rain, that how it beautifies and purifies the earth. And it is also through the rain that earth finds its expression. The earth, when it beautifies the earth, it quenches the thirst of the earth, it puts an end to the drought and settles down the dust on the earth. And we see that how life rejuvenates on earth, and thus earth expresses its happiness through the rain. When the rain touches the ground, the surface of the earth, everything comes to life. And this is how the rain is also justified in calling itself as the poem of the earth. So, this is all about the poem The Voice of the Rain, students. Let us quickly discuss a few poetic devices used in the poem. First one is the personification. The poet has used a non living thing as a living thing in the poem, as I'm the poem of earth. Here, the rain is personified, and so poetic device is personification. Metaphor, a comparison between the qualities of different things. So in the line, in the phrase poem of earth, the rain is compared to a poem, and thus it is the poetic device metaphor. So, and the next one is the hyperbole. When hyperbole is a poetic device, when something, some expression is exaggerated, some statements are exaggerated, like bottomless sea. The depth of the ocean is exaggerated in the expression bottomless sea. So, this is the poetic device hyperbole. Another one is imagery, which is where we use visual description of something. So in the soft falling shower, the smooth and gentle falling of the rain is described. So here the poet has used imagery in the poem. I hope the poem is clear to you, students. So have a nice day. Thank you all.